Oh, got one in already. Whoever that is, hello. Just give it a few minutes to let some people drift in. There's number 2. The countdown is on. Oh dear. All them. Is it Black Friday today? I need to look into a few things on there. Oh, where are we at? Oh, we got 4. Oh, let's just shut that off. Make sure the sound's off on that. Yep.
I'll say.
What? What did she just say?
She said, I say.
What was that about?
Not had enough.
Getting lip off my phone. It's bad when your phone's taking the piss out of you. Yeah, she did. Yeah. She just said, I'll say. She thinks I said it sure sounds awesome, that. Bizarre. Crazy, crazy world. Hello. Part 22. It's a long one. But we've finally made massive progress. We are, of course, on about the Spitfire build, which has been chugging along like an old tortoise. It's run out of steam. But never fear. It's we're over the worst of it, I feel now. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. You'll remember we've had terrible trouble with the wings, and at the last time I saw you, it was all disassembled. And I said the one thing I was going to do, because it was going to be quite a lengthy process and there was nothing new that you could see that I hadn't already described. I did do a brief video on how I was going to put the wings together. I did drop that in. It was a 21-minute video, shortest I've done yet, just to show you how I glued those together, and how I done the wheels. So since then, all I've done is I filled in the port that we're not using, the gun port that we're not using on both sides, because obviously that's blank. I've done the same there. This panel here, since I put it in, had sunk. So I've had to go over it a couple of times with some more deluxe putty and sand that down. So as a consequence, we've lost a bit of the bump there that sort of is raised above the surface. Can't do a lot about that, I'm afraid. And we generally been round, sanded all the edges. I have had to go around a few times gluing and sort of clamping, and it's literally sat for I don't know, nearly a week, I guess, just curing, just letting that glue go off. The only other thing I'd done was to paint the inside of there, because I'd forgotten to do the underneath of the top wing sets. So we're at that stage where we can finally glue the two halves together, and this is I'm really pleased that we're at this stage now. So this is a big occasion. Now I'm told to expect some problems with the fuselage going onto the wings. I hope that's not the case. I hope I've taken my time. I've been methodical, I've been slow, yes, in doing what I've done, but I hope that will pay off now when it comes to one of the areas where there is an issue. By many people, I've been told by many people there's an issue here. So, okay. So we're going to pop that on there. Just give this a brief look over. It's there's a few scratches on it from where it's been in the box, but it's nothing that can't be resolved. Nothing's going to get in the way, and we're just going to simply do a quick little dry fit first. There we go. Well, there's a little bit, might need a little bit of filler at the moment, but it's not looking too bad. I don't want to say too much too soon, but I've got to say that's it could have been a lot worse than it is. I don't know if you can see that. We've not got a little gap at the front there, but this is a dry fit. I haven't put any pressure on either of the wings yet to glue them to the sides here, and obviously we're going to need some clamps, but I'm quietly optimistic. So let's get that down one side a minute. Let's select the clamps we're going to use. We're going to need some heavy duty ones, I think, for this. So we will get all of them ready. Last time I've done this, I didn't have stuff ready, and then I had to rush in between getting clamps off the trolley. Things would come unglued while I had to let go. So let's just get everything ready. And then I have two massive ones here, just off screen, should I need them. I'll put them down there. Right, for this, I'm going to use Tamiya cement. I'm not going to use super glue because I don't want it to seat instantly. That could cause me problems if it does. I need to get it clamped into position really, so that I can then go around and put glue in where it's shifted. Okay, let's make sure we've got rid of all the excess dirt out of there. Then we're okay. There we go. And let's look at the contact areas. Always good to check those first. So it's going there, there, and around there. Then the next thing for me to do is just to quickly go over these contact areas. Remove the paint or primer that's on there. Get rid of any high spots as well, so we get as much contact as possible. There we go. Come over there, do the same thing on the opposite side, and you can see that already it's, you know, the high spots are at the edge, so there's obviously a bit of a dip in the middle. When you think about it, if you put glue all over that, the only parts that are going to make contact here really are going to be these outside edges if you don't do anything. And as a result, you've got so much less adhesion there, and they're quite large dips really for the amount I'm taking off. Just gets rid of some of that yeah, this is massive hole in there. Finally, we're breaking through on that. And we're also going to just come along there and there. That will just get rid of that. Now I did already started on them yesterday, just to clear off the paint, and glue and dirt that got in the way. Got rid of all that. There we go. Right. Normally give it a brush down with the, I don't think it's on. There we go. Just have a quick look at the chat. So just generally hellos, Smoo's in, Bob's in, Dave's in, Mark's in, HP or Daddy Sauce, time for food, pork chops and chips, catch up later. Ooh, pork chops and chips, cheese on. Makes me hungry just thinking about it. Right. Now then. So I'm using the really thick Tamiya stuff. I could have probably used the yellow cap Mr. Cement. It's a bit stronger. I should have done actually, thinking about it. But we'll stick with what we got now. And we just really want to lay that on thick. We've got to be quite quick about it because it dries off very, very quick. We can come in with the tep in a minute once it's and then I want to add a good sizable chunk on there, and one and there. Worry about that, the rest of that in a minute. I just need to get this bit in first. So right. So that's gone in surprisingly well. Surprisingly well indeed. I don't really know. There's a lot I can complain about there. It's literally dropped straight in at this front. So now then, let's get a big splosh on there and a big piece on there. And let's get our first clamps on at the front if we can, if it will allow us. The trouble is, it's don't know whether we might need some form of elastic bands on this. These clamps are just not really cut out for these sort of shapes. Mind you, if we can go in we may have to use one of the bigger clamps already. That's what we need there. We need that there. We need that one there. Let's just hope they don't slide off. We've already got one of the wings has just started to open up along the crease. Now let's come to the back. And if we can get a clamp down on there, and we've got to be careful. This is when the clamps start falling off. If you've got these type clamps, when you come to sloping areas, just flip them back. I find that they hold better for some reason. Right, now then, let's see how that looks. Now we have got a little bit of warping on the bottom of the floor here, so we're going to need to apply quite a bit of pressure there. So let's get that in there. A bit of glue in that corner, and then let's try and remove that, because with this on, I don't think we'll need that. Clamp that in there, and then, or even better maybe, might need the big one actually, just to make sure it doesn't let's go there if we can. Is it going to let us? Please no lettuce jokes either. Yes. So we've got that clamp down now. That's covered. That's shut down. There was a gap. You can see that the base of it's there. So I'm not worried about that tiny little bit. I'm going to put another clamp in there in a second. I'm just going to put a bit of this thick glue over that hole, and then let's see if we can. I'm going to go in with let's see, I don't know where my other, no, I need something much stronger. It's going to need to be one of these, I think. I'm actually using the top of another clamp. No, come on. Let me try. This is awkward. Don't really need to worry about the mess at the moment that's being created. It's not. I don't know what's under that blue tack. I can't remember what's under that blue tack, and I don't want to put undue pressure on. Right. I do have somewhere, I have a massive paper clip. It's like a paper clip, but it's really quite brutal in its strength. But I'm not sure what I've done with it. Sorry, I'm off camera, I know, but right, I need to rethink this a minute. This has wandered off slightly. Right, there we go. So let's get that clamped down again. Let's just try and, let's go the other way actually, so we're not restricted. And we're good. We're good there. We've got a crack, not a crack. The seam line's opening along the spine though, that's a worry. So I can't apply any more pressure there. So what I need to do now really is leave it. I've got a good fit on there. I've got it pinned where I need to pin it, and I need to let that cement go off. If I carry on, then that seam is gonna open up completely along the top. I don't want that. That would be disastrous at this point. So yeah, let's just take it easy on that, and I will. Where will I pop this? I need to pop this now somewhere where it's not going to get knocked or damaged. where there's no pressure on the wings. Lay it on its side, maybe. It's there, right? So that's the wings attached. There'll probably be a little bit of filling to do, but barring that, which there's been some mention about the length of the amount of videos involved, so I'm trying to just show you the essentials, as it were. So the next piece now is we've got to attach these wings at the back. What are we on now? 26 minutes. So I will do this bit as long as I can find them. I'll do this bit and then we'll call it a day on that. Maybe glue them together. We'll see. Right. Now I've got a feeling. Just pop him in there. He's not part of this. Don't panic. But he's in the same box. Oh, 125, 130. I think I saw a 125. Except I didn't see a 125 and 130. What does that look like then? Okay, hold on a minute. 126, 127. Yeah, that's them. 126, 127. 124, 125. I don't know what I've done with my decent nippers. I've put them to one side. 125, and then I've got 130, yeah, 131. So they are just cut quite a way away from the edge. I don't want to get them out. And then we're looking for these two, 127, 126, and 132 and 133, right? There we go. There'll be a duplicate sprue somewhere. There it is. 132, 133. Yep. Now, I think the others are in the little box with the parts in. So there should be in here 1, 2, and they should be. I've not numbered these ones, but there's got to be them. Yeah, they're the other halves of them. So it's got to be them. Right, so let's make sure these go together. Let's be careful now. No, see, they don't go together. If you're never sure, just check your drawings. But in this case, these drawings are rubbish. So I don't think they would be any help at all. So how you tell, if you get them mixed up, just have a look at the parts, because normally there'll be a difference between the upper and lower, or the left and right. So we can see that initially I put these two together, and they'll all fit together. They'll all fit together fine. But the problem is, if you look closely, they've got this identical pattern on, identical rib structure. The corner there as well, the corner square. Whereas the underside has a little extra sort of rib there on both of them, and an extra bit of detailing along here, so you know that that has to match up with one of those. Another way is to look for pins on the side, because if there's pins on both, they shouldn't really line up. But it just shows you how poor this kit is, that I've managed to put two together with pins on, and they've actually fit together. How bad is that? Yeah, oh well. Right, so let's make sure we got it right. Now then, let's get the decent snippers out. We'll have to get this tile fixed, Angela. So we need to remove the back end there. And come along nice and close on that one. That snipper's gone in and it's really flush. You can't even see where it was. I've already done that one. Already done that one. Now, unfortunately, it looks like we've got the sprue gates are actually gone onto the face of the elevators, and you can see where it's only done it on, yeah, these two, and you probably can't see it that well, but it's just there. And in a minute when I take it off, you'll see, because the the primer will go off where it's currently sitting too high. There, it's just that little bit there. Don't want that. That's too heavy duty. Just want to go very light. And you can see where the main, there where it's took off the primer on the high spot. And while we're there, we'll just go around, get rid of the seam on the edge. Really run this ragged, this thing. It's all curled up, and you know, I'm actually wanting to try some of the flory ones out. I haven't tried any of the flory ones. So I've got a pack of the like a starter set of the UMP ones, which are about, I think they're about £8 to buy, which I think what I paid for them. I can't remember exactly. I can show you what's in them. So if anyone wants to swap those for a new pack of the Flory equivalent, which I think he does one, then let me know. So I'd be interested to give them a go, but unfortunately I just can't afford it at the moment to go out and buy one. Which is a nice, neat segue into something that I'm going to be doing in the next, over the coming weeks. I've created a Patreon account. It's something that I started in January, but I'm really not sure about it, in all honesty. So I think I'm going to create it. I'm going to give it a go. My reasons are quite selfish, really. Our finances have changed quite dramatically, so I'm okay at the moment because I've got lots of stuff that I can work through, kits and so on. But at some point, that's all they're gonna disappear, and I'm in a situation where I can't really afford to replace items and stuff like that. So if I want to carry on, I need to think of something or come up with something. So yeah, anyway, these Patreon accounts, I've seen people using them. I know many people use them. Mind you, they're a lot of these are a lot bigger than me, some of these people, but everyone seems to have them now. I don't know whether they work or not. And it won't change the content on the YouTube channel. I will still do all the content will come on the YouTube channel. It's just, if I can do it, some of it may go through Patreon first, but ultimately it will come on here as well. But I don't know, leave your comments on that, because it's really a hard decision to make. I'm not keen on it. I will be honest, I'm not keen on it at all. And as I say, my motivations are purely selfish, really, so that I can carry on doing this. And I wouldn't blame anyone for, you know, it's a horrible thing to set up. I mean, I went through and they ask you to you've got to, when you set it up, you've got to set a price that you think you'd like to ask people for, and it's such a horrible thing to do. So I wanted to leave it at like 0 and just not have it. But you've got to do it because you have to send your account off to be reviewed before they'll let you put it live. So I think I put $1 because it's in dollars. But all I would say is please don't judge me too harshly because I've set one up. It's not something that I really want to do. Right. Let me see. Now that obviously clicks on to here. There must be something else that goes on this. Right, we're missing something. Got to be. Yeah, there we are. I thought we were. I thought so. Right, let's get our bits together. Right. That looks right. $126, $127. Yeah, that's right. And they're wrong. And that's right. I've got a bit of warping on the metal there, on the plastic, representing the metal. Okay, so tiny little, I know I've seen them. I already used some, I believe. Where are you? Oh, there they are. So there should be 4 left. Indeed, there is. Now, let me just make sure. Okay, the edges of these are not going to be seen inside, so you're okay. You don't necessarily need to clean the edges off. Just cut reasonably close. And then the same on the other side. If I remember rightly, you've not got to glue these in because they act as your swivel points. And let me just have a close look. Right, 2 halves are different. One side is squared off. And the squared off side goes on this larger area here. And then we get another one. There you go. There's another one. Same again. And then we'll pop. Now for this we will pop some glue on there. We're going to use the white purely because it's a bit stronger. It doesn't dry off quite so quick, and it will grip it enough. Right, I've get a cotton bud quickly. I've just realised I've glued over the although I don't think it will matter if it glues on one side as long as it doesn't glue on the other. Tweezers, because I've got great big sausage fingers and they will not work out well at all. There we go. Yeah, we're loose, and that one's loose as well. Excellent. And we just feed that round. Come along with some ordinary tet. Oh, that one's empty. Or some quick dry. Doesn't matter. Obviously, with the quick dry, and just run it around that seam. We will come back later when it's set considerably, and we'll go around, do the seams, add a bit more of the glue on the surface, and all the while making sure it's clamped well and truly. That's that one. And then we're going to do the same on this side. And tweezers. There. Again, this time remembering not to get it anywhere near them. Come on. There we go, that's in as well. Make sure that wiggles about. Yeah, good, although it does feel as though it's probably caught a little bit on some glue there, maybe. So, right, bring this first one back, and we need to get that on there and there. So if you're struggling to get the pieces together and with the pins on, you can do it another way. So let me just. So when it comes to this bit, make sure you lay them down side by side. Pull your pins out. And then position it so it's roughly over where you want it to be. Then come along and drop that in place. Push down because you need to keep pressure. Oh, no, it's come away. It can be a bit awkward at times. Don't know whether this is not a good example. Now I've got that top one in, just not the bottom one. Sadly, the top one went in, not the bottom one. I don't think I tucked that in long enough. One thing you can do if it gets too difficult is to just tie a bit of fishing nylon around the pin and pull it out this way. I've never had to do that myself, but it's just an idea I've literally just come up with. If you're struggling, that might work. Once you've got it on, and I think I've got it on. No, damn it. It's really... Let's have a look at the other side, see whether we've got a better... Who knows, I might be trying out that new idea yet. I was just thinking if you tied a bit of fishing wire or fishing line around the stem of this, you could then pull them I think that's come out. Yeah, that top one's come out now, you bastard. Let's see if there's a way of getting that in there like that. Let's just get the tweezers. Apologies if you can't see this. No, come on. Let's see if gravity will help. We're in. We are in. Right. Once you've got that in, waste no time at all in going around the edge. Get that clamped. I think this bottle's running low. Yeah, there's getting hardly any on the bloody. That's the trouble with these Tamiya bottles. You can extend the brush at the end, but let's get a little clamp on there. Where's the little one's gone? So you get the general idea. The only downside to doing it this way is you don't get a proper glue join down this central spine. But that's just another method, another way of doing it. And there we go. So I'm going to carry on and just finish these off. And I'll just have a quick scoot over to chat. We're approaching an hour, and see if there's any. All right. You can cut to what size you want, glue to wooden backing if need be. You can use wet, my preferred method, without the form. Yeah, I might give that a go, Dave. I've never really tried the flory ones, but I was just looking to. But if they're not going to be any good, then I shan't bother. Right. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. So we finally got the wings on, which is excellent. And we will be, I don't know, what have we got next? We've got obviously put these little wings on. I think there's a bit of detailing to go on with the engine. The next hurdle, I believe, is the panels that go on around the engine. I'm told that there's more than likely going to be a bad fit issue there. So I haven't taken them off the sprue yet to try them. We will see though. So yeah, we've got these panels coming up. I'm told it's this top one that could be an issue. And then we've got a little bit of detailing around the plane. There is an issue with the propellers, which we will have to deal with, but we'll cover that when we get there. And we are very, very close to finishing the build section, and then we're on to paint. Excellent. So yes, excellent, very good. Oh, and there's the stand. We've got to make that. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye for now.